Okay, this is lesson 5.1 where we're talking about ratios. And a ratio, if you'll remember from last year, is a comparison of two quantities using division. There are three ways to show it. We will be using most frequently the fraction way of showing it. For instance, here 3 over 4, which would really be read 3 to 4, but if we say 3/4, we know what we mean. A rate is a ratio of two quantities with different units. For instance, 60 miles per 2 hours. Miles and hours are two different units, which makes this a rate. And then there's a unit rate. That's a rate with a denominator of 1, and we use these most frequently. For instance, 30 miles per 1 hour. You wouldn't want to see a speed limit sign that says 60 miles per 2 hours, because then you'd have to do math. You want to see 30 miles per 1 hour. Let's look at example 1. Example 1 says, finding ratios and rates. There are 45 males and 60 females in a subway car. The subway car travels 2.5 miles in 5 minutes. The first part says find the ratio of males to females. So males is 45, that goes on top. Females, 60, that goes on the bottom. So males to females is 45 to 60. And we can simplify that just like we simplify a fraction to 3/4. The ratio of males to females is 3/4. The second part, find the speed of the subway car, 2.5 miles in 5 minutes, or 2.5 over 5. What we want is to find, for a speed, is the unit rate. We want the denominator to be a 1. We always just divide by the denominator. So in this case, we'll divide the top and bottom by 5, and we get 0.5 miles per 1 minute. The unit rate, or the speed, would be 0.5 miles per minute. For example 2, finding a rate from a ratio table. The ratio table shows the cost for different amounts of artificial turf. Find the unit rate in dollars per square foot. So any of these four amounts could be used as a rate. You could have said $100 per 25 square feet, $400 per 100 square feet, $1,600 for 400 square feet, or $6,400 for 1,600 square feet. The lower numbers are the easier ones to work with, so we'll start with $100 per 25 square feet. We'll divide top and bottom by 25 because we always divide by the denominator, because it's the denominator we want to turn into a 1. Dividing top and bottom by 25 would give us $4 per square foot. So the unit rate is $4 per square foot. Notice the table gives it to us with amount on top and cost on the bottom. But they asked in the problem for the unit rate in dollars per square feet. You almost always have to turn the table over because they will almost always ask for it in the reverse order. So in this case, it's dollars per square feet. You do have to pay attention to how they ask for it in the problem, and then look at where those units are in the table. For example 3, finding a rate from a graph. The graph shows the speed of a subway car. Find the speed in miles per minute. Compare the speed to the speed of the subway car in example 1. So you'll have to go back to example 1. So step 1, choose and interpret a point on the line. So for instance, they gave us the point -1, -1/2, 1/4. And that indicates that the subway car traveled 1/4 of a mile in 1/2 minute. So you write that as a rate, 1/4 of a mile over 1/2 minute. To turn that into a unit rate, we will just multiply the top and bottom by 2. That would give us 1/2 mile per minute. The speed of the subway cars would be the same, because remember, in example 1, the speed of the subway car was also 1/2 mile per minute. If you took the other point that they gave us, 3, 1.5, you would take the 1.5, put that on the top, and the 3 and put that on the bottom. 1.5 over 3. You would divide top and bottom by 3 because we always divide by the denominator, and you would also end up with 0.5 or 1/2 over 1. So a half a mile per minute. Okay, for example 4 here, solving a ratio problem. You mix a half a cup of yellow paint for every 3/4 cup of blue paint to make 15 cups of green paint. How much yellow paint and blue paint would you use? So the way they want us to do it is they make a table, and they show that you mix 1/2 cup of yellow and 3/4 cup blue, and then you add those together to see that that gives you 5/4 cups of that green paint that you need. But you want 15 cups. So first they multiplied by 4, the denominator, to make it so you put in 2 cups of yellow, 3 cups of blue, and got 5 cups of green. And then going from there to 15 is pretty easy, multiplying everything by 3. You would use 6 cups of yellow, 9 cups of blue, and to get 15 total cups of green. The key here was multiplying by the denominator first. That first step, seeing the denominator was fourths, multiplying by fourths, and what that basically does is eliminates all of the denominators, and we're left with the numerators as their whole numbers. 2 plus 3 equals 5. That made this pretty easy. So you use 6 cups of yellow paint and 9 cups of blue paint.